Mrs. Clara Weatherall will now be presented for the conferment of University Fellowship. 現在頒授大學院士俾韋嘉怡女士。
Mrs. Clara Weatherall. Mrs. Clara Weatherall, chairman of the Keswick Foundation's Board of Governors, is well known for her abiding commitment to philanthropy. After graduating from the National School of Broadcasting in the UK, Mrs. Weatherall worked for the BBC in the UK and the BBC World Service in the Philippines. She also worked as a freelance anchor at Metro Radio for 2 years after moving to Hong Kong in 1991. She's married to Mr. Percy Weatherall, whose great-uncle is the late Sir John Keswick, who founded the Keswick Foundation in Hong Kong and the Hollywood Trust in the UK to provide financial support to individuals and organizations for worthwhile causes. Mrs. Weatherall has devoted much time to special, social, and community services. Before taking up the chairmanship of the Keswick Foundation in 1997, she served for 10 years as an executive committee member of the foundation. She also chairs the Hollywood Trust in Dumfries, Scotland, to help young people in the region. Mrs. Weatherall is also involved in the Maggie's Cancer Caring Centres in the UK to provide support for cancer patients, their families, carers, and friends. She has been on the main board of Maggie's since 2011 and has helped spearhead the development of Maggie's Centre in Hong Kong. The first Maggie's Centre outside the UK will open at Tuen Mun Hospital in March 2013. That is very soon. Over the years, PolyU has benefited from Mrs. Weatherall's benevolence. Through the Keswick Foundation, Mrs. Weatherall has supported PolyU many endeavors. Mrs. Weatherall and Keswick Foundation has supported numerous projects of PolyU's projects in the Chinese mainland. Firstly, the Master of Social Work Project, China, in collaboration with Peking University. The Keswick Foundation has provided scholarships for over 240 students of the MSW program of PolyU and Peking U since the year 2000. And she has supported 7 cohorts of our program. And all these are now social work educators in various universities in the Chinese mainland. The Keswick Foundation also supported the 5-year project on capacity building for post-disaster reconstruction in Sichuan after the Wenchuan disaster. Moreover, the Keswick Foundation has also supported the 5-year strategic plan of the PolyU Peking U China Social Work Research Center. While living in Hong Kong, Mrs. Weatherall has also provided guidance to various charities in the capacity of director, executive committee member, and advisor. These organizations include the Society for AIDS Care, Make-A-Wish, Enlighten Action for Epilepsy, Society for the Promotion of Hospice Care, and Mindset. Chairman, I have the honor to present to you Mrs. Clara Weatherall for the conferment of University Fellowship.
Thank you, Chairman and President. Mrs. Weatherall will now address the Assembly. 現在恭請韋嘉怡院士致辭。
Chairman Yang, Council members, President Tong, and honoured guests. First of all, let me express my heartfelt thanks to the Hong Kong Polytechnic University for conferring upon me the honor of this fellowship. I'm both humbled and delighted, and I don't think I deserve it. Social work education received little attention in the Chinese mainland until the 1990s, when social work educators from Hong Kong started to get involved, albeit in a cautious manner. One of them suggested that the Keswick Foundation could help. I was excited but nervous, and I realized that we needed a partner we could trust. In 1994, the Keswick Foundation gave a one-off grant to the Asian and Pacific Association for Social Work Education to organize a conference and an intensive workshop for Chinese social work educators. The conference organizer was Professor Angelina Yuan, the then team leader in PolyU's Department of Applied Social Studies, which is now the Department of Applied Social Sciences. Thus began an incredible partnership and an extraordinary journey. In 2000, the Keswick Foundation started to fund PolyU's Master of Social Work in China program, run jointly with Peking University. The course was heavily oversubscribed, with all applicants being senior academics in social work who had never previously taught the subject in a practical sense. 12 years on, we are now funding the 6th and 7th cohorts, and by 2013, we will have about 200 graduates, many of whom have told me that the program has changed their lives. When Sichuan experienced the calamitous earthquake in 2008, our students were the first in and the last out. Post-disaster projects run jointly by PolyU and Sichuan University made a huge impact on those affected, and our students' efforts were greatly appreciated. I went to see our projects in Chengdu in 2010 and was truly humbled by the experience. The Keswick Foundation has also funded the China Association of Social Work Education, CASWE, based at Peking University, and again, PolyU has been instrumental in this. For the past 10 years, CASWE has been the driving force in the Chinese government's policy on social work education. It has published journals, hosted conferences across China, and made sure that the benchmark of social work education remains at the very high standard set by PolyU. I'm gratified to hear that most social work educators and social workers in the Chinese mainland have benefited directly or indirectly from the Keswick Foundation. For this, I would like to thank Angie and my friends in the Department of Applied Social Sciences, as they have done a great deal for social work education in China. And I'd also like to thank all my colleagues at the Keswick Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Weatherall. 多謝韋嘉怡院士。